Okay, we will check in live here. It is 10:54 a.m. on Wednesday, and I was taking a look at EOG resources. It's getting taken to the cleaners today. It's currently at 102.27, right there, falling like a rock. It's at 102.21. How far can it go? At some point, this becomes a screaming deal. If you look down here, you can see my position. That's not a good position. So we're trying to do that double divvy on the EOG. So that is part of the reason it's down today, is because theoretically and for the most part, realistically, on the day of ex dividend, the stock price will drop by that amount because basically the company is reducing its value because it's giving dividends to its shareholders. So they had $1 special dividend, as we talked about a couple of days ago. And so that would like automatically reduce it by $1 per share. But then also the market is going against it in two ways. One, the market overall is getting hammered today. If we take a look here, we got S&P down 1.32% and the Dow down 524 points. And see it's selling off again right now as we watch. Right before our very eyes, it is selling off with the S&P, the SPY down to 385.74. So let's go back here, check on, is it possible for this thing to get to $102 bills? I was thinking about just buying 100 shares and then sitting on it for a few days to see if two things happen. One, the market goes back up because it's been doing a lot of up and downs, mostly down the last couple of weeks, hasn't it? And then also oil prices keep slipping into the future, but there's almost no chance that it continues to go down for too long anyway. Short term, who knows? Long term, though, it's down at 101.95. We got ourselves a sell-off going on, so at some point I'm going to have to buy this and either just sit on it for fun or try to flip it. With this episode of Flip or Flop, will this be a flop or will this flip make us some dollar bills? We'll have to stay tuned. Let's go back to the market, take a look. Sell-off is trying to continue. And then also just an update. I did take a SPY position. So if you look right up here at this green candle, it did get over 387. I didn't get in right at that number because I was making some chicken thighs. I had a bunch of chicken thighs baking in the oven. So I had my Betty Crocker chef's hat on, and I was cooking up some chicken thighs. So I couldn't get right at it, but I was able to take a position. Now I'm mesmerized by EOG, the E, the O to the G. But let's go back here and take a look at the position on the SPY that we have, that we just put into play. It's right there, 5 credit spreads, call credit spreads, and it is a 393/395. So we just put that on 5 of those contracts. It's saying we're up $10 and 33%. So go back to the EOG, see what it is doing. 101.92. Oh, it's bouncing on you. It's bouncing up real big. It's not. It's barely moving. But let's see what we have on the chart. It's got a couple greens in a row. How far will it go back up? Did I miss my chance at a bottom for the day? The world may never know. The world may never know if we missed that opportunity. It's now up over 102. It's at 102.22. So we definitely missed that 101.90 some and change, but it doesn't mean it won't return to that number. It could return to that as we watch it. It's now heading back downtown to Chinatown. No, it's not. 102.25. Anyways, I wanted to just check in, give you that update on SPY and then what I'm thinking on EOG. And the EOG would be twofold. One would be, if it goes up a significant amount, a few, $4, $5, $6 over the next week or so, I would just flip it. Otherwise, I would hold it for that next dividend, because this round of shares that I would buy today will miss out on that dollar dividend, because today Today was the day yesterday probably would have been the day. Let me make sure. On the dividends, what is the ex-dividend date? It is, well, they're showing 4/13, but if we go to dividend history, it will show us what the special dividend ex-dividend date, and that would be today. So you would have had to own it yesterday, having it settled by no later than this morning, so you can go into the record book and then be paid at the end of March for your dollar bill. So there's $100 for that. Plus, we also traded that covered call, so we collected those dollar bills as well, and then we hopefully will be locked in for that second round of dividends that will be payable next month. But the play today would be to buy and then flip the stock once it starts to return to the mean, because it will, unless oil continues to slide, in case we ramrod ourselves right into a recession before I think that's going to occur. Because, we get into the driving season soon. Over there in China, they've finally letting some of their people out of their apartments. They'll be driving around too, which creates, of course, more demand as well for the oil. What is the SPY doing? It is at 385.88. It is having kind of a wild day over the last couple of hours. You see all the ups and downs. I think we're in a good position on our credit spread with our circuit breaker at 393. So we're looking for the SPY to not get anywhere near that 393, and we will have a lovely day on that 0 days to expiration trade. I got to update my spreadsheet. I think I'm down by about 3. I need to add about 3 trades to that spreadsheet. So that is what we are looking at. In fact, let's take a live look. We'll do it live. One more quick peek at the EOG. But what is going on with Citi? I mean, it's a tough day. You'd have to have a lot of nerve. You'd have to have a lot of nerve to buy it today at 45.06, because no telling how much more selling off the financials will do going forward. Because if we get news, we can get news as soon as today saying another bank is going under, and then the pressure, as they call it, the contagion in that industry of financials, everything is then affected. So it's trying to go under 45, isn't it? It's at 45. My first position was just a few months ago, and it was at 44.04, and I thought that was a great number. Turned out to be a great number. My shares were then called away from a covered call at 47.50, but then from there, Citi went up to, I think, over $51. Let's look at the last month. It went up over $52 just last week. No, 2 weeks ago. So just at the beginning of March, almost 2 weeks ago, it was at $52 bills, and then it dropped all the way down to under 45, back up to over 47, and then now down again, hovering around $45. So I might make a move on that as well if it dips back to, anything with a 4-4 handle right there might be appealing to me, just from a psychological perspective, because it's taken a lot of nerve to even consider that type of investment today. So I'll continue to watch EOG, Citi. I probably, if SPY tries to get up to close to 387 again, and it looks like it's making a little bit of a play towards it, I might take another position on the call credit side again. Because here's where we entered, right around, it was probably more towards the 3/4 spot of that red candle, at the top of that red candle, when I got in on those 5 credit spreads. If it gets up towards that again, I might try to run it back, as they say, and put another 5 contracts on the board. But we'll see. We'll just keep an eye on things. Thanks for stopping by, and I will see you in the next video.